blue corner, from Taylor, Michigan, 36 years of age, stands 6 feet 1 inches tall, 169 pounds. His record is 18 wins, 5 losses, no draws. 3 of his wins are by knockout. Welcome, please, Kelly Croy. Kelly Croy. In the red corner, from Mansfield, Ohio, he is 26 years of age, 6 feet 1 inches tall, weighs 167 pounds, has a contact karate record of 6 wins, no losses, 1 draw, with 2 of his wins by knockout. Your referee for this fight from St. Louis, Bob Yarnell. First of all, let me introduce Mr. Mickey Scodova. And your referee from St. Louis, Bob Yarnell.
Okay, you men know the rules. Keep your kicks up and make them strong. Watch your spinning techniques. Make sure you only hit with the padded part of the glove, not the forearm. Do not use these ropes to hold on to defend or to attack. You get your opponent through the ropes, get off of him, it is a foul. 2 warnings for holding. 3rd time, you're going to start losing points. Let's have a good fight.
Mickey Scodova, 26 years old. He'll be in the red. There he is. Not a flashy kicker, but a very strong kicker. And Kelly Croy, wild and aggressive, sometimes sloppy, but he usually gets the job done.
Well, Kelly Croy is a guy at 36 years old. You know, most people are sitting back in their easy chair drinking a beer and watching it at that point. Croy is still out there doing it, and he's smart. He's going to be a guy that'll get the most out of what he's got to work with. Kelly Croy, Mickey Scodova, very, very strong physical fighter.
He uses those side kicks and those front kicks, and he's usually very effective with them. We should mention both of these men, though not rated, they're honorable mentions in this classification. And matter of fact, Croy at one time was a world-ranked contender.
Croy's starting, I think, probably to have to think about hanging it up. He probably don't want to, but at 36, you just don't have a lot of choice. With young guys like Mickey Scodova coming after you.
You're right. When you look at the two, it does appear that Croy really does give up a lot of power, at least upstairs, from the waist up to the larger, more bulky Scodova.
Kelly Croy's got 18 wins, but only 3 knockouts, so he's not a real powerful fighter. But he's fought some good people in the past, and he's done a good job, and he'll be in there. He'll stay right with you, and he'll probably make the full 5 rounds. I'd be kind of surprised, really, if this fight ended early.
It's kind of hard also to get any sort of rhythm against someone like Croy, I would think.
Yeah, he's a little bit awkward, a little herky-jerky, comes at you from far away. Makes it tough to kind of get a set timing on him.
Feeling out period here in the opening round. We're under 30 seconds left. Scheduled for 5. Good right hand by Croy, scoring against the head of Mickey Scodova. Ooh, a right hand again by Croy that scored. Oh, a right hand by Scodova now landing on the forehead of Croy. So both men in the latter portion here beginning to trade some punches. Well, both of them were measuring one another and then found the mark with about 30 seconds left. That's the corner of Kelly Croy. Let's listen in.
With the jab, and then come with the jab. Jab, and then come with the right hand and come back with the hook, okay? Okay?
Brian Lentz, Bob Thomas, and Ron Keystall in there.
No,
in
hold
the
on,
corner
we'll
of
do water
Croy.
just before the end of the round. Okay, here.
Work that side kick.
Gary Roop, Oliver Harris, and Kakan Garcia in with Mickey Scodova.
Keep your right foot outside the rope. Okay? Deep breath. Deep breath again.
Croy got in at least one good punch in the opening round.
Well, he got in more than one. Right there, right up on the forehead, Mickey Scodova. That's Southern headache number 72.
This is the second round, scheduled for 5. Middleweights. Kelly Croy in black and Mickey Scodova in red. Scodova really looking down the line at perhaps being a rated contender and a chance for a title shot of some type within the next year or so. That seems to be the timetable for him.
I think that he's probably very likely to do that. He needs more action. He needs to fight more. I know he's a young man that's very anxious to fight, and so he'd like to have the opportunities. I'm sure if there are any promoters out there that would like to get him involved, he'd be very easy for him to do that with.
Jump back kick missed. Now he's got Croy tied up against the ropes. Croy comes out there wailing away. There's really no rhyme or reason with the attack of Kelly Croy. He'll just throw anything at any given time.
Well, Croy just stays real busy. He throws a lot of stuff. Nothing that hits very, very hard. But he just keeps swinging away.
And he just landed with a couple of punches against the head of Scodova.
The old guy's doing a pretty good job right now. I hesitate to call him old. He's younger than I am, but he's having a pretty good round.
Right hand by Scodova, and then a spinning back fist from Croy.
They're heating up, and I don't know whether Croy is in condition to go 5 really hard rounds. If it stays at this pace, that could work in Scodova's favor.
Well, I'll be interested next round to see how you have it scored, because right now these men are toe-to-toe. Good right hand by Scodova as we come to the end of the second round here in Toledo, Ohio.
As he has pretty much the whole fight. Croy moving in, but Scodova caught him on the way in that time with a real good overhand right. Kind of stepped through overhand right.
We're ready now for round 3, scheduled for 5. Tim Brando and John Worley with you. We're happy you joined us here on ESPN. I said in the last round I'd be interested to see how you had this fight scored, John. How do you have it scored? They're going to see a slip, I think. Yeah, they're going to rule out a slip.
After 2 rounds, I've got it even up. There's not a slip. That was a knockdown.
Kelly Croy coming through with that kick right into the midsection of Mickey Scodova.
Scodova not hurt from that kick, but certainly caught off balance and just went right off his feet. It's a clean knockdown. He's got to come back from that now.
Well, he may be embarrassed, if not hurt.
You know, Scodova seems to me that he's throwing a lot of his punches kind of back on his heels, and he doesn't seem to be getting a lot of body weight as he did then. He kind of punching and falling away. Takes an awful lot off of those punches.
All right, hand by Scodova that scored. Sent Croy up against the ropes.
Scodova's finding out what a lot of other guys have found out about Kelly Croy, and that is that he's hard to get to. He's hard to hit clean. It's like he doesn't have a whole lot of good stuff, but then I can't hit him.
Yeah. And Croy just keeps on pressing his opponent. Scodova has loaded his gun a couple of times in this round. But remember, it's Croy that always comes back and answers him, punch for punch and kick for kick. And it's Scodova that was on the canvas earlier in this round.
Croy just hangs in there. He keeps throwing those old front kicks that kind of get in the way. They don't really hurt you.
There's some blood coming from the nose now of Kelly Croy. Well, John had it scored even after 2 rounds. Kelly Croy may have a bit of an advantage now.
Hold this.
Once again, that's the corner of Kelly Croy, Brian Lentz, Bob Thomas, and Ron Keast in there.
There's the Vaseline first. Oh, nothing. Just wait a minute, take your time. I want you to work the jab, come with the right, and then the left hook. And when you get inside, keep your hands up, okay? Keep doing the same thing. Keep your hands up, Kelly, okay? And let's work just the same way.
Early in that 3rd round,
water?
we saw a slip there that kind of was a half punch him on the chin and get his leg caught up, and that one was no knockdown. But then Croy came right out of his corner, out of the neutral corner here, threw a good solid front kick that caught Scodova back on his heels and put him right down.
And how often do we see that as we enter round 4? How often do we see that? After a slip or a momentary pause, a fighter has his guard down, he's lulled to sleep for a moment, and then the opponent gets a quickie in there and sometimes can floor his opponent.
Anytime that the action is live, you don't have the luxury of taking a break.
Had a similar occurrence a few weeks ago in Atlanta when John Moncayo lost his foot pad. We had about a minute break, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he was a knockout victim.
It can happen at any moment. As we see here, Kelly Croy just keeping the pressure on. He just keeps coming. Really, Scodova, in order to win this fight, is going to have to go back and take away that initiative there. Just go after him.
Something else we should mention is that Croy has sort of taken away the home court advantage here for Scodova. Most of the crowd behind Scodova from nearby Mansfield, Ohio. Croy has been in control at least for the last round and a half.
Right now, Kelly Croy is classic. Kelly Croy is in there. He's hitting you with things that wouldn't pop a grape, but they just stay on you and bother you and make you have to deal with it. He's racking up points.
Oh, a nice move there by Croy. A wailing, spinning back kick that scored, and now Scodova comes back with one himself. A left-right combination from Scodova.
Well, Scodova's hitting the harder shots, but he's getting hit about 10-1, and you can't win a fight that way. Not unless you can land the knockout.
Kelly Croy's style perhaps could best be summed up as lean and launch. That's what's happening right now. We will be back to Toledo, Ohio in just a moment with the final round between Croy and Scodova. There's Kelly Croy after a very good fourth round.
We see here Kelly Croy getting involved in the inside there, comes spinning around with a nice, hard, spinning back kick that knocks Scodova back into the corner.
Little perspiration there on the ring, and Kelly Croy putting on a bit of a show. He's been around. He says, this is just a fight, a little entertainment.
Looks like Wile E. Coyote then, a little skibbity-doo.
How do you have it scored now here in the final round? We know that Croy's loose. Is he loose for a reason?
I've got Croy up by 2 points. My scoring, of course, is unofficial here, but I think Kelly Croy is winning this fight. I think he's given Scodova just a little bit of a lesson in how do I deal with this guy. He just stays so busy. Here he comes again.
Ah, that spinning back kick again by Kelly Croy. Right hand by Scodova that scored, but Croy seemingly just enjoying himself in there right now.
I think Kelly Croy is having a good time. You know, it's probably what he does just for fun. Sits in here and fights these real young, strong guys.
Scodova is being touted as perhaps the future champion. Croy, well, perhaps in the twilight of a career, but he's fighting for those 35 and over right now, and he may be their champion if no one else is.
Well, Scodova has just had to back up the whole time, and I think he's not really used to it. I haven't seen Scodova fight this kind of fight with someone pushing him back, and he is not a good fighter moving back, at least not at this stage of his career.
A right-left combination by Croy. Under a half-minute left now, the final round. Oh, and Scodova's just taking all kinds of leather now.
Scodova Croy just punched Scodova's belt off. Lost his belt.
Thank heavens for elastic.
Lean and what? What did you say?
Just lean and launch with Kelly Croy.
I like that.
This will be it, and it should be a big moment for Croy. Perhaps a low blow or a late blow, if nothing else. But we'll have the decision to a very, very good fight when we return to Toledo, Ohio in just a moment.
Now is...
There's plenty more PKA Karate coming up here on ESPN. The kick of the 80s turns to Port Huron, Michigan, not far from here in Toledo, as a matter of fact, on the 20th of September, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. on the West Coast. It's a contenders bout in the light welterweight classification between Leo Laux and Mark Gurley. Join us here on your source for sports for all of that. We're ready now for the decision of this bout. Also in the middleweight classification, here again is ring announcer Jack Mitchell.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a decision. Judge Sawyer scores it 47-50. Judge McCutcheon scores it 47-49. Judge Day scores it 47-50. The winner by unanimous decision, Kelly Croy.
So there's your winner.
Kelly Croy. That's a bit of a surprise in a sense, because